If you know anything about the market right now, you know that there's very limited inventory with higher interest rates. These higher interest rates are working in conjunction with higher labor cost, higher material cost, and higher cost of everything. Insurance cost has increased double, if not triple, and they're kind of limited to how much they can increase. But because of what happened during COVID and all these things spiking up, and now inflation pressure, builders are not building homes like they used to. What we used to get around my area for $400,000, $500,000 was a nice brick house. Now, anything that you're buying in that area, in that price point, is going to be a solid vinyl sided house. And the reason they're doing that is because everything has gone up. Even your renovation cost has gone up. So when I see articles like this and we see we're not building millions of homes, just like I was looking at some of the comments in my last video that I released, people were like, hey, the US housing market is busted. It's really not busted. It's always been at highs because we are the nation that everyone looks at to see how the housing market is, and they're recommending other countries. When you look at other countries, I'm not saying it's a bad idea to buy in those countries. However, if you buy in those countries, you're not there to see it, to live it, and know how the economy is actually going. You want to buy homes in an area that you like to frequent. You want to buy homes in your hometown where you work, where you like to frequent the amenities and things like that. And the reason you want to do that is housing values are always going to increase. Let's just go to Zillow.com. And this is why I say you don't listen to the naysayers all the time. And we're just going to punch in a random address, homes for sale. Now that we clicked on this property right here, I know this area very well. This is an area that's very similar to what I grew up in. I'll never forget when my mom sold her townhouse that was bigger and a little better neighborhood. She sold it for $160,000 about 6-7 years ago. Now the same properties are worth a lot more. It's really important to do what's best for you. And I'm going to tell you something that my financial and my rich dad mentor told me a long time ago. Buy the most expensive house that you can afford because it's going to continue to go up. It's always going to be worth more. We look at this, right? We're just look at 2016. This same house was $127,000. Today it's 2024. 8 years later, it's worth $270,000. That's $150,000. Where are you going to get that type of appreciation and return on investment on your money anywhere else? Houses have priced a lot of people out of the industry, but that doesn't mean that you can't afford a house. You just have to buy something that is within your means at the highest level. As you can see, yes, there's going to be ups and downs, right? Yeah. In 2018, this house was worth 145. Someone can look at this and between 2018 and 2019 and say, wow, it's only worth 137 now. But we have to look at where we bought it. If we bought it at this high point right here, 124, we get to this high point right here at 145. Now we've gained 20,000 in equity. Over here, we've lost 5,000 in equity. We're still at 15,000 in equity. We go at this peak right here, it's at 150, 161. Now we've gained even more equity. Yes, it drops a little. Yes, you're going to see these drops. Okay. It's cyclical. It's based on the housing market. It's based on the time of year. When you're buying a house, don't jump into a house. When you're selling a house, don't jump into selling the house because you hear something on the news. Because if you sold it here, if you sold it here, if you sold it here, you would have missed out on everything that went from 156 to $270,000. Just don't look at all the bad news and say, wow, I got to do exactly what the media and what the masses are telling me, because these are strategies to scare people into buying or selling their houses to taper this economy down. But in reality, the more houses you own, the more you utilize the DSCR loans, the more investment properties that you buy, the more you're upgrading your house and keeping your house, the more you're going to be able to have an army of foot soldiers, which are houses to kind of build for you. I bought a lot of houses in 2010, bought a lot of houses in 2012, a lot of houses in 2016, a lot of houses in 2018, 2021, and even this year. We're constantly buying. Always buy properties because builders aren't building anymore. Supply is going to be limited. And because of that limited supply, now the demand is going to increase. So I want to read this for you in the article, and because I think it's really important. So housing starts and permits have been falling for some time now. So the Fed staffers should be able to pick this up with basic vision skills. Builders pay down mortgage rates as much as possible to move products. 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭's comments on clearance rates show that he doesn't know what he is talking about. Today's housing start reports show the same trend we have been seeing for some time now. Builders tend to get more bullish about building homes when mortgage rates are heading towards 6%, just like the existing home sales data improves. However, they slow down when mortgage rates are between 6.5 to 7.5. This is just with single family permits. 5-unit permits are at recession levels already and not showing much life at all. What does that mean to me? That means that when the rates are high, not many people are going into these houses. If you want to buy properties, new construction, this is the time to buy while the rates are high, okay? I know we're talking about a cliche here. Own the house, date the rate, but it's true. I've always done that. Why would someone wait for the rates to drop so they can have more competition and they're paying more money? It doesn't make any sense. Buy it while the rates are high, struggle for a little bit, and when the rates drop, not only did you get a pay raise, but now your house is worth even more. So if you need to exit, you're gonna walk away with a lot more money than you put into it. It's really important that we're looking into what he says, right? Builders paying down mortgage rate as much as possible to move products. That means right now, builders are giving you tons of incentives to buy their homes. I don't like the practices of new construction because they kind of force you with the lender and you don't have an opportunity to shop. So whatever they offer you is whatever they offer you. They force you into the title company. They force you to like report everything to the site agent so that they can have full control of what's going on, but you don't have to deal with them in the long run. You're looking for something that's going to help you in the short, medium, and long term, and that's what houses do. There's nothing else out there. 401k, investment accounts, where you can put as little as 3%, 3.5% down into a property, and let's just say a $500,000 property. 3% is $15,000. 17,500 is at 3.5% on an FHA loan, or VA loan is no money down. You can go into these houses, invest that little amount, which is less than 1 year of 401k maximum contributions, and you could grow that money at the levels that I just showed you on that chart of what the houses are worth. I know it's not 100% accurate, but this is why everyone needs to buy a house. This is why everyone should not be renting, because as the housing prices go up, guess what happens with rent costs? That goes up too. Now you're living in a house where the landlord may not take care of everything. You may be living in a house that's full of mold. I recently went and looked at a property. You know, I financed the home for this guy. He didn't take care of the property. And guess what? I walked into it. Floors are rotten. You can step into the actual ground, the subfloor. This is an 8-foot crawl space where there's no floor in the bathroom. One bathroom is not usable. There's mold, extensive moisture, everything in the kitchen. None of the appliances work. This is why you want to buy a house. There's never a good time to buy a house, but there's always a good time to buy a house. If you have the funds, if you have the means, stop spending it on things that depreciate and start spending it on things that appreciate, like houses. That's my take on the housing market. If you like it, give me a like. You want to hear more about the housing market, subscribe. You're not only hearing from a loan officer, you're hearing from a serial entrepreneur, someone that invests in houses and boots on the ground every single day. This is 𝐷𝐸𝐵𝐺, Mortgage Guy. Until next time, I'm signing off.